Welcome to Dark News.
Dark News.
Oh, shit.
They'll never know what it means to have a private moment to themselves.
BBC posted their first article about Silk Road and Tor. Oh, I don't have to go to the street corner and get shot?
I think Bitcoin means 1,000 Silk Roads.
This is a show about cryptocurrencies,
anonymity,
and uncensorship.
Hello there, and welcome to Dark News. I'm the host of Dark News, Kristov Atlas. And today I wanted to talk about deflation. Deflation is a topic that comes up often around cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in particular. There's a lot of fear about deflation, and there's a lot of propaganda about deflation from economists. And so I wanted to read an article written by a crypto economist, an economist who focuses on digital currencies, and his take on deflation. So this article is written by John Matonis. John is an e-money researcher and crypto economist focused on expanding the circulation of non-political digital currencies. His career has included senior influential posts at Sumitomo Bank, Visa, VeriSign, and Hushmail. John currently serves on the Bitcoin Foundation's board of directors. Fear Not Deflation by John Matonis. We should not be afraid of deflation. We should love it as much as our liberties. Jörg Guido Hulsmann. Deflation in the context of Bitcoin has been cited frequently in the popular press as a detriment to its widespread adoption. For example, famed Keynesian economist Paul Krugman ridiculed the Bitcoin cryptocurrency, saying, quote, "It reinforces the case against anything like a new gold standard because it shows just how vulnerable such a standard would be to money hoarding, deflation, and depression." Krugman could not be more wrong. Deflation is not a problem in the traditional monetary system, and it will not be a problem in the Bitcoin economy. As over 99% of Bitcoin's possible 21 million coins will be mined by 2031, the fixed mild inflation will effectively cease as a period of non-inflation will commence. Although the supply of cryptographic money will be relatively static, with the exception of attrition through permanently lost coins, I will refer to the monetary phenomenon as deflation because as Bitcoin's asset value increases compared to political numeraires, its effect on price expression will be seen as deflationary. Contrary to the central banking and political class insistence that deflation must be prevented at all costs, an economy with a monetary unit that increases in value over time provides significant economic benefits such as near zero interest rates and increasing demand through lower prices. Let's look at some remarks from leading thinkers on deflation. In responding to an article in The Economist, Doug Casey points out that in a free market economy without central banks and without fractional reserve banking, both inflation and deflation as chronic events are really not possible. Casey states, "Deflation is actually a good thing because in a deflation, prices drop and money becomes more valuable, so deflation encourages people to save money. Deflation rewards the prudent saver and punishes the profligate borrower. The way a society, like an individual, becomes wealthy is by producing more than it consumes. In other words, by saving, not borrowing. And during a deflation, when money becomes more valuable, everyone wants money. They want to save. Whereas during an inflation, you want to get rid of the money. You want to consume. You want to spend. But you don't become wealthy by spending and consuming, you become wealthy by producing and saving." Jörg Guido Hulsmann is a German economist and author of Deflation and Liberty, an important monograph that demolishes the myth of monetary intervention to prevent the cleansing effects of deflation. Hulsmann writes, "Deflation is not inherently bad, and that it is therefore far from being obvious that a wise monetary policy should seek to prevent it, or dampen its effects at any price. Deflation creates a great number of losers, and many of these losers are perfectly innocent people who have just not been wise enough to anticipate the event. But deflation also creates many winners, and it also punishes many political entrepreneurs who had thrived on their intimate connections to those who control the production of fiat money. Deflation puts a brake, at the very least a temporary brake, on the further concentration and consolidation of power in the hands of the federal government, and in particular, in the executive branch. It dampens the growth of the welfare state if it does not lead to its outright implosion. In short, deflation is at least potentially a great liberating force. It not only brings the inflated monetary system back to rock bottom, it brings the entire society back in touch with the real world because it destroys the economic basis of the social engineers, spin doctors, and brainwashers. Former president of the Mises Institute, Doug French, writes in the essay, In Defense of Deflation, "Lower prices increase demand. They do not reduce or delay it. That's why more and more people own flat-screen TVs, cellular telephones, and laptop computers. The prices of these goods have fallen, and people with lower incomes can afford them. There are more low-income people than high-income people." In a plea for mild deflation, George Selgin rightly distinguishes between malign, demand-driven deflation, which is an unfortunate secondary effect of a central bank manipulated inflationary malinvestment phase, and benign deflation, which is the result of an increase in productivity. Quote, "The Great Depression dealt a near fatal blow to such common sense thinking about prices and the price level. A new generation of economists became so obsessed with avoiding the bad kind of deflation that they forgot all about the good kind. Followers of Keynes advocated inflationary policies, which have been the norm ever since. Having paid penance for the Great Depression by suffering through 6 decades of inflation, it is time for us to revive old-fashioned logic concerning the potential benefits of deflation. Recognition of the possibility of benign deflation should have a salutary effect on the thinking of the world's central bankers. By helping them to overcome their fear of falling prices, it will encourage them to deal a death blow to the worldwide scourge of inflation. But that is only the beginning. Once the possibility of benign deflation is fully appreciated, zero inflation itself will come to be recognized as an overly expansionary policy, that is, as a mere stepping stone on the way to something even better. Fear not deflation. Ultimately, the market will reach an equilibrium between investments and savings, because in the absence of an equilibrium, the benefits of a savings-only strategy would evaporate. Proper economic growth through sound investments will lead to a productivity-driven deflation.